in office, as do members of this court. And so other high offices, the president, vice president, members of this court.
All right, let me ask you, I appreciate that argument. If we think that the states can't enforce this provision for whatever reason in this context, in the presidential context, what happens next in this case? I mean, is it done?
Listen up. This court concludes that Colorado did not have the authority to exclude President Trump from the presidential ballot on procedural grounds. I think this case would be done, but I think it could come back with a vengeance because ultimately members of...
But he still will not be president.
Congress may have to make the determination after a presidential election, if President Trump wins, about whether or not he's disqualified from office and whether to count votes cast for him under the Electoral Count Reform Act. So President Trump himself urges this court in the first few pages of his brief to resolve the issues on the merits, and we think that the court should do so as well.
And there's no federal
And so where they're sitting around here trying to pass it back and forth, even if Trump got elected, because Colorado used to disqualify him what the Senate said, and the court is not over the Senate, this is kind of a waste of time.
Litigation, you would say.
Well, that's correct, because there is no federal procedure for deciding these issues, short of a criminal prosecution.
Thank you.
Thank you, counsel. Ms. Stevenson?
Mr. Chief Justice.
Anderson. No, Stevenson. That's right. I'm sorry.
Mr. Chief Justice, and may it please the court. Exercising its far-reaching powers under the Electors Clause, Colorado's legislature specifically directed Colorado's courts to resolve any challenges to the listing of any candidate on the presidential primary ballot before Coloradans cast their votes. Despite this law, petitioner contends that Colorado must put him on the ballot because of the possibility there would be a supermajority act of Congress to remove his legal disability. Under this theory, Colorado and every other state would have to indulge this possibility, not just for the primary, but through the general election and up to the moment that an ineligible candidate was sworn into office. Nothing.
Did you hear that? An ineligible candidate. Doesn't matter if he won, he still can't get the Electoral College votes from Colorado because Congress already said he was an insurrectionist and Colorado used that report to disqualify him. So I'm just showing this again because I think some people keep saying he's not convicted. He's not convicted. It doesn't matter.
Nothing in the Constitution strips the states of their power to direct presidential elections in this way. This case was handled capably and efficiently by the Colorado courts under a process that we've used to decide ballot challenges for more than a century. And as everyone agrees, the court now has the record that it needs to resolve these important issues. I welcome your questions.
Is there
It's
an
over
express
for Trump.
provision
That's it.
with respect to that defines what a qualified candidate is?